We have achieved great things over the past 5 years. Our members, stronger and more united than ever, have shown incredible solidarity in the face of adversity. We took on negotiations at huge employers, renewing contracts at UPS and at Purolator. It's been one of the biggest issues for our locals. At both companies, our members had to threaten to go on strike. In the end, they won good contracts that allow them to live better.
I've participated in the last 2 contract negotiations with UPS, and I'm very proud of the things we fought and won for, especially this last contract, because we never lost anything. We went ahead on everything, wages, pension. They tried to take our pension away from us, and we still have it, and we had increases in it. We got everybody to agree to it by solidarity at the bargaining table. It's a tough thing to do, but solidarity is a big thing. That's how we accomplished it.
We will start negotiations at Purolator later this year.
Purolator and Canada Post have approximately 38% of the market share in the parcel industry, compared to UPS's market share of about 15%. Purolator has approximately 11,500 members working there, and proposals are just underway. So now the local unions are all taking proposals at different locations across the country, and we will correlate those proposals in July with a start date for negotiations in September.
And we will step up our outreach to Amazon workers.
What Teamsters can do for Amazon workers in Canada is what they can negotiate a collective agreement that's meaningful and contains rigorous protections of their rights. For example, wages. Teamsters collective agreements contain starting wages similar, if not the same, to what Amazon is paying. However, the Teamster collective agreements, they contain step rate wages up to $26, $28, even $32 an hour.
Depuis sa fondation, notre syndicat a des racines profondes et fortes dans le transport routier et l'entreposage. Nous en sommes très fiers. Dans les dernières années, nos sections locales, d'un bout à l'autre du pays, ont négocié de bons contrats de travail pour nos membres. TST, CF Express est un parfait exemple.
This victory strengthens and embodies the Teamsters Union in a number of ways. First of all, it gives us a bigger entity inside the industry itself. We've been working very hard as a local to regain our strength in freight. We've negotiated and certified a number of companies, this being one of them. Now, TST Express was formerly called Canadian Freightways, which was a subsidiary of Consolidated Freightways. We were a survivor, and it's done nothing but strengthen our ability to represent members throughout the freight industry.
We got a wage increase, which is above average for our industry. The average, I think, was about 1.6%. We got 2 point something percent. We got a way better. They changed a lot of the language in our contract so that we don't have to phone in sick. We have actually personal days that we can take. So if let's say your child is graduating and you want to go to the ceremonies, you can book off and go. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, my family's security is much better. You know, I was able to, well, let's put it this way. I bought and sold 3 brand new homes because I make a better living. I've secured my family's future because of the Teamsters. I wouldn't have it any other way.
History, Teamster history, will be able to demonstrate how our brothers and sisters, whether they be truck drivers, warehouse workers, manufacturing workers, whatever their profession may be, have had the ability to obtain much better working conditions, much safer working conditions, higher rates of pay, dignity, justice, equality, and a voice on the job, all through a Teamster contract. And I have no doubt that going forward into the future, this will be maintained by the Teamsters.
The contract, the Teamsters and Metro brought the junior and senior employees a common goal to be together and to work together. The Teamsters are solidarity through the process enhance our quality of life. as a Teamster, it was a victory for the middle class people on top of that. So it's a cheer for us.
Ben, on est allé chercher des belles augmentations de salaire pour nos travailleurs. Après ça, l'indexation sur les forfaits pour nos gars de route. Puis on est allé chercher aussi une belle augmentation de la part de l'employeur pour les fonds de pension.
Nous avons négocié l'une des accréditations du groupe Travail Transport qui représente environ 300 membres. Cette négo nous a permis d'atteindre des conditions de travail parmi les meilleures sur le marché, dont entre autres des augmentations de salaire pouvant atteindre en moyenne jusqu'à 17,5 % sur 3 ans.
J'ai obtenu un contrat de travail pour les employés de Transport Madeleine, un contrat historique dans le transport général, soit des augmentations au taux horaire de 20,5 %. J'ai aussi maintenu et augmenté un fonds de pension à prestations déterminées, également une assurance collective payée 70 % par l'employeur Midland Transport, plus beaucoup d'autres articles monétaires, exemple 15 congés statutaires, etc.
Grâce au local 106 des Teamsters, nous avons obtenu un très gros contrat de travail se terminant le 31 décembre 2024. Tous mes collègues sont très contents. Je voudrais remercier Teamsters et notre agent syndical Alain Michaud de nous avoir supportés et aidés tout le long de cette pandémie de la COVID-19.
Our most high-profile battle was at CN when over 3,000 Teamsters went on a nationwide strike. We got CN to stop some of its dangerous practices, and we made Canada's rail system safer for all.
2019, after months and months of strenuous negotiations, with a 98% strike mandate, Teamsters Canada Rail Conference, CTY, went on strike at midnight on the 19th of November 2019, partially to protect our membership from the company's demands, which have gutted our collective agreement and eliminated many of the work jurisdiction rules which would have resulted in permanent layoffs.
The experience of going on strike was very different this time than any other time. I've been a railroader for 35 years, so I've been involved in other strikes. This, we had consistent messaging. We had a bond of unity right across Canada from coast to coast. We had support from our national Teamsters Canada, and that was integral to us achieving what we did during our strike. We were striking for our safety and for the safety of the general public. So yes, the Canadian public is far safer because of what we achieved as Teamsters Canada. Workers in Canada, it's very important for us to stop the race to the bottom, the chipping away at our rights as employees, at finances, at quality of life issues at work. It is so important for Teamsters and unionized employees to stick together, to be united. And in that way, we will stop the race to the bottom.
The strike resulted in victories on several fronts. Extensive lobbying of the Canadian federal government by the Teamsters to resist the call for back-to-work legislation resulted in pressuring CN to finally bargain in good faith. A written commitment by CN to allow our members to take a rest break if required when riding cars with no fear of reprisal. Another written commitment by CN not to invoke the work now, grieve later principle, to violate the agreed to hours of work clauses in our collective agreements when our members state they are too tired to continue safely. Substantial gains with no concessions. I would classify this as a victory.
Nous avons été très actifs au cours des dernières années. Nous avons inauguré un bureau national à Laval, au Québec. Il s'agit d'un bâtiment durable et ergonomique, bâti par une main-d'œuvre entièrement syndiquée et avec des meubles de fabrication syndicale. We established the Teamsters Canada Foundation, and I'm proud to say that during the pandemic, we gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to hard-hit community organizations like women's shelters and food banks. The IBT Women's Convention was held in Montreal in September 2019. The theme was Teamsters Women Shaping the Future, reflecting the increasingly important role of women in our union. 1,200 delegates left delighted by the quality of the convention and by the hospitality of Canadians.
The special thing about the IBT's Women's Conference is the feeling of solidarity when Canadian and American women become one in a forum where they feel they can have a voice. That voice is particularly heard during the amazing workshops where everybody can learn and live more empowered and at the same time speak and have their voices heard regarding what challenges they face every day and feel that there is somebody listening and guiding them. So when they go back to work, they feel that they can do better and they continue to fight better.
At the time, no one could have imagined a deadly global pandemic lay ahead. COVID-19 has changed things forever, but our members continue to do essential work.
At the hospitals, which we represent 6 of them in the Greater Toronto Area, we were making sure that we were present, making sure that we were there for our members, for the membership, and let them know that we're going to hold the hospitals, we're going to hold these long-care homes accountable when it comes to providing PPE, making sure our memberships are safe. And at the end of the day, we all stepped up together and we're continuing to fight this pandemic.
Working with some of the sickest COVID-19 patients in the hospital has been challenging, given the fact that you are concerned for your patient's safety as well as your own. A lot of the staff in the beginning of the pandemic were very concerned, given the fact that we didn't know what was happening with PPE at the time. We didn't know how this disease was being transmitted, and having patients come in at a rapid pace made it very disheartening sometimes to come into work, fearful to come into work. However, given the support that we've gotten from our union ensuring that we would get our supplies when needed, especially when a variety of complaints came in, made it more reassuring to know that you would be safe coming into work. The work that we do as healthcare workers and essential workers embodies the value of the union, because at the primary of it, we're looking out for one another. You're looking out for your fellow man, your fellow woman. You're helping somebody along the way who might be having some difficulties. So whether it is directing a patient who's lost in the building, trying to reassure somebody who's now not able to come in to spend time with their family because of the COVID restrictions, explaining to patients the reasons why they need to use PPE in order to keep themselves safe, as well as the staff safe, to ensure that everybody's okay and that we get through this.
It felt really great to be part of the team at UPS with the Teamsters delivering the vaccine. And now people are getting vaccinated, and it comes every Tuesday at UPS in Calgary. So I'm always excited to hear about it. You know, the drivers that do deliver it now has become more commonplace. You know, it's like another delivery, but in the beginning it was excited. Everybody was excited, but then everybody has a job to do, so we just do it. We deliver it first thing in the morning. It's like the first delivery we do, and it's very important, and I hope everybody gets vaccinated.
The pandemic has affected our jobs, but some more than others. Workers in restaurants, sports entertainment, airport, hotel, film were hit hard. Some of these members are still out of work. Mais n'oublions pas tous les héros de nos hôpitaux, nos CHSLD et résidences privées. Ils ont combattu le virus sur les lignes de front de cette pandémie et ont pris soin des gens. On leur dit merci pour leur courage et leur dévouement.
En fait, les travailleurs-travailleuses, les enjeux qui ont dû faire face, c'est le manque de préparation. Les établissements n'étaient pas prêts à vivre une pandémie, surtout dans nos CHSLD où on a eu plusieurs décès suite à cette pandémie-là dans la première vague. Les entreprises ont dû s'adapter. Par contre, le manque de main-d'œuvre qui était flagrant avant cette pandémie-là s'est accentué avec la pandémie. Il y a des gens qui étaient malades, donc retirés dans le milieu de travail, ce qui a causé en fait une pénurie de main-d'œuvre qu'on vit aujourd'hui encore. Puis, c'est le service aux résidents qui est négligé.
Le plus difficile, c'est que déjà avant la pandémie, il y avait un manque de personnel, une pénurie de préposés, mais aussi de services auxiliaires. Et cette pénurie-là, disons qu'avec la pandémie, ça a bien été parce qu'on nous a envoyé du personnel. Mais dès que ceux-ci sont partis, je vous dirais que nous, la pénurie, elle a continué. Et ça fait que nos équipes sont à bout.
Le fait qu'on ne pouvait pas nécessairement donner vraiment les bons soins qu'on voulait dû un petit peu au manque d'effectifs, parce qu'il y en a beaucoup qui, malheureusement, dû à des conditions de santé, étaient obligés d'arrêter de travailler dû à la pandémie.
Women have been most affected by the pandemic. Nearly 100,000 women have completely left the labor force since the pandemic started. They work in industry which suffered the biggest job losses. Others had to take on childcare duties.
Pour ce qui est de nos consoeurs en première ligne, les femmes racisées sont surreprésentées dans les emplois où les éclosions sont plus fréquentes. Par exemple, dans des usines de transformation d'aliments, les CHSLD et les épiceries. On sait tous qu'en plus, les femmes subissent une charge mentale supplémentaire puisqu'elles assument principalement les tâches parentales, y compris l'éducation à la maison, qui est directement liée à la fermeture d'écoles pendant la pandémie notamment.
Thankfully, there is light at the end of the tunnel. As our members deliver vaccines and supplies, there is hope for quick recovery. Things will not completely go back to normal for a while, but one thing won't ever change. The Teamsters will be here for workers and their families, always. Félicitations, Teamsters. And now, brothers and sisters, it is my honor and privilege to introduce for the first time ever a Canadian Prime Minister at an international convention. One of Trudeau's government's first act in office was to repeal union-busting conservative legislation. Since then, they have carried out an economic policy to help the middle class and the working people. Justin Trudeau is a friend of the labor movement, and Justin Trudeau is also a friend of the Teamsters Union. Brothers and sisters, please welcome the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau.
Hello everyone, bonjour à tous, and welcome to the 30th International Brotherhood of Teamsters International Convention. It's wonderful to be here with you all as we look to the future. I want to thank the International Brotherhood of Teamsters for bringing us together today, and I want to thank François Laporte and James Hoffa for their commitment to workers' rights. James, your work will be missed, but I hope you have an excellent retirement. I also want to thank all the union members here today. I know that this has been a challenging year for Canadian workers and workers in all of our countries. And unions have played an important role in helping keep people safe, healthy, and supported during these challenging times. And as we look to the future and focus on building back better from the pandemic, your work will continue to be important, and so will the partnerships between governments, industry, and unions. Parce qu'on a tous un rôle à jouer pour protéger nos travailleurs, créer de nouveaux emplois et des occasions économiques pour les gens et faire croître la classe moyenne. And as Canadians continue to get vaccinated and we get closer to the end of the pandemic, we remain committed to working with unions and industry to create new jobs, grow the middle class, and make sure everyone has a chance to succeed. That means working with you to raise the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, creating a program that will help businesses hire new employees, investing in clean energy and green innovation, establishing a Canada-wide early learning and childcare program to make life more affordable for families and to help women get back to the workforce, and continuing to work with our American partners to create growth and opportunity for people in both of our countries. These are real solutions to the real problems of today and of tomorrow, and they will help build a stronger and more resilient Canada that brings everyone along. Ensemble, on va créer un Canada meilleur et un avenir plus radieux. Merci.